let this play out and see if this guy stops. If he doesn't stop, of course, we have seen situations where they could potentially bring in Metropolitan Division with armored vehicles. Certainly, we're not to that point yet, but I would be surprised if we see pit maneuvers, potentially spike strips, if the officers can get adequate cover to get behind a car or a wall or something where they can toss those out without worrying about getting, in the line of fire or potentially struck by the suspect here.
Yeah, going now 33, 32 miles an hour there, going over some speed bumps. And Mike, just based on what we saw earlier.
High speeds, kids.
Here, the
35, 40 miles an hour.
Speeding up, trying to get away from police.
You guys are, I just finished doing We Got a Case, and now
they've made
I took one bite of my dinner and ran out to the studio to get this going. So,
but
welcome one and all.
Relatively normal.
Possible pew-pewing suspect.
Seen, any crazy 90, 100 mile an hour on surface streets type speeds. This person is adamant in not stopping, clearly. But we're not seeing the kind of almost desperation we see with some people.
Clearly, and by the way, the issues with the chase, the feed, that's them, not us. So lay off your boy. We're switching over to this. And there is no talking here. None whatsoever. Is 0.0, right, guys? Right?
0.0.
So all you got's me now, and Bob, and this generous hallelujah, baby. Hallelujah. We're in a hot pursuit. This fella is not backing down. He's not giving it up, but he's going very, very slow. Maybe even too. I mean, we talk about going too fast for a pit. You can also go too slow for a pit. And this is probably going to fall underneath going too slow for a pit. So, yeah. Thank you, Bob. Bob, longtime lover of these channels and much appreciated. Hope your leg and your lady are both well. For those of you who love chopper sounds, let me see what I got here. I might have something for you. There you go. A little bit of chopper. A little bit from the chopper. Do us a favor, share this out, because guess what? We've been live so many times today and put up so many videos, people won't know we're here. So it's up to you, the viewer, to get it done. Get her done. Cooper McCooperson. With the choppers out. Cooper, thank you, my friend. We are with this, as long as they stay with this, we will not give up. Oh no, without a fight. Thank you, Cooper. A lot of residential. I mean, we yet to see them get out on the highway or anything like that. Everything's been pretty much residential to this point, from what we've seen. From what we've seen. Nay, how are you? Anthony Okie. Thank you, Okie. Much appreciated. Kind of Wild, how are you? Welcome back. Erica! Good to see you. Erica, where are your compatriots? They all walked out on your boy. Kimmy! What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is not a very fast chase at the moment, but you know, anything can happen, Patty. That's why we're here. We're here for the unexpected. Like this, he's going to run this red light. And there's a school bus over there. Great, great. Kids are getting out of school. This chase is live, and you know what, Foreman? You reminded me that I should throw out the old placard. This guy's starting to get dangerous. Here we go. He's picking up steam. There it is. Boom. Live. Live, baby. That's not him. That's him going straight. There you go. Happening now before our very eyes. Well, kinda. Like I said, I just bit into the taco I was eating. It was Taco Wednesday at my house. While we're in Taco Wednesday. Coach, how are you? Lurk away. Good to see all the lurkers. Almost 200 of you here. And also, Dan the Man. Let's turn this up a little bit. The chopper really drowning out the sound. Sorry about that. Oh, you moved to the big screen. Well, try to make myself look presentable. Good to see you. Oh, Brandy. Oh, so down. Howdy, Tracy. How are things over there? You and Feister over there holding it down on the Facebook. If you don't want to hang out on Facebook, you want to join the chat over here, guys, all you got to do is look for Credence and Mikey on the YouTubes, as well as We Got a Chase. That's our Chase exclusive channel. That's all you're going to see if there's Chase stuff. Whereas on Credence and Mikey, you're going to find court, you're going to find chases, true crime news stories, things like that we try and come across. And boy, when we come across something, we do it right. Thank you, Dan the Man. Thank you, sir. By the way, Dan the Man, I believe, is single these days. Spanish channel. No, thank you. No, thank you. Speaking of the Spaniard, there he is right there. If you're looking to get your car worked on, maybe you need a pressure washing job out there in the greater Texas area where he lives, please hit up my boy Jason. He is, look, I couldn't recommend him more. He come to my house, he pressure washed the driveway, the house. The next thing you know, he fixed the car and I didn't even ask him to. That's how this man is out here taking care of business. We switched, by the way, everybody, we switched to this feed for one reason and one reason only. All those other ones were skipping so badly that was making it kind of hard to watch. Oh, we're going into oncoming traffic. Ooh, what a dick. What an a-hole this guy is. Back to the sounds of silence. You listen to my dog. He's barking in the distance. Peter Moore, baby. Let's get it going. This monetary monorail runs on donations from people just like Peter doing the Lord's work. We appreciate it. Over 200 of you watching across all the channels. We really appreciate that because, you know, you've got lots of places you could be watching that, and watching it here with us. Oh my God. It tickles the cockles of my heart and the subcockles. Thank you. Thank you. Peter, hope you are doing well, my friend. This guy's not afraid to pull out in front of people. He's not afraid to, you know, go in the wrong direction. There he goes again. Remember, this guy is suspected for having pew-pewed someone. You know what I mean when I say pew-pew. He shot somebody, allegedly. Woody, how are you? Good to see some of you popping in right here at din time for some of you. Some of you just getting off work. Pop on in. Hang on out. Good to see everybody. Wow, y'all. Y'all really piling in now. And before anybody asks, Creed is busy right now. He is meeting with people that do his graphics. So sound like manifest. Look, I'm trying to. I'm always manifesting. Good to see you, Bruno. Back again to this area. He's been sticking to the residential. He's shied away from the highways for sure. Who's not shying away from sending over monies? The boss. The boss given the gift of life. I know you've been told before it was blood, but it's blood, but it's also memberships. Oh, wow, that was some thick bush, and we came out the other side. What lucky for us that didn't end behind those bushes. All right, if he starts picking up speed, I think we might try and pit him. Again, if you're going too slow, sometimes they will not pit you. Oof. I always get so tense because a lot of time you got these people that are out here, they have no idea that this is going on. All right, fine, I gave up. We'll put on the Spanish lady. See. We'll listen to her. Going into oncoming traffic yet again. I think she works for Telemundo. Anybody know what she's saying? 8 months a member? Clap on, clap off. I love you guys. You guys are the best, man. It's people. People make this community. Not the AI. No, sorry, Bob. Coach, thank you so much for your generosity for the last 8 months. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I don't know if she's reading the menu or I have no idea what she's saying. Any of our bilingual friends, feel free to go ahead and tell us what she said. Oh, it's a good evening for sure. Good to see you, Jack. Pez, how are you? Hi. How are you? Could be. All right, we're switching over to this one so we can stop speaking Spanish. I don't think this has got that much. Nothing right now. Thank you for everybody that's gifted, everybody that's here. It is having a lazy day. It's all right. It's all right. I'm working hard enough for 5 or 6 of us, so it's all right. Dave, how are you, sir? Courtney. OMG indeed. That's right. Fam is in the house. Over 240 of you. If you haven't joined us yet on YouTube, feel free to. Especially, I see there's like 20 people over on Facebook. Good to see you guys. Shout out.
A red car coming in.
Larry.
That's the concern is those right turns.
We're back in traffic.
At the wrong time, colliding with this driver who's just throwing himself.
Ron Allen's here.
Right turns in front of traffic that's oncoming.
Good to see Ron Allen.
Very lucky with the other drivers being very aware of the situation and reacting pretty quickly to either stop or get in the other lane to get out of the way, which we certainly saw 2 instances of that in that.
I should call him, right? Hey, what's up, Stu?
Another one.
Give me your take.
And he manages to scoot through, continue going straight.
Yeah, so we're in Gardena, and likely Gardena PD is assisting the LAPD in this pursuit. They know that it's coming in through their city, so they will assist by blocking intersections. We just saw an officer there at that last intersection. I don't know if that was Gardena or not, but definitely
got to spike strip this guy, right?
Vermont, busy street there, all the way across without a problem. So that's
all the way across. Jack.
Obviously, this is not in the LAPD jurisdiction right now, but those area police departments will know that they're coming. There's a
Jack Hollenbeck.
Traffic.
Jackie Hollenbeck.
All right, again, this is a
Jackie ain't no hollaback girl. She ain't no hollaback girl.
Southeast Division. We've seen at least 8 black.
Oh boy!
Crossing over.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Again, to make a left-hand turn, and you see all those black and whites behind him. Now back in Los Angeles jurisdiction.
The whole police department's behind him.
We've seen him drive through Hawthorne, Gardena, and Alondra Park.
You damn right it is. A Lambo Red OG wrench. 54 months. That's an OG call.
This is an OG call.
continuing on a road that's pretty much wide
Thank
open.
you. Lambo. Watch your P's and Q's. Lambo's here.
Some close calls in this pursuit, no doubt. Driver here, northbound. This is
so far
this
behind.
is on Hoover, 124th, and slowed down a little bit. And that's good because it's mostly residential here. But coming up, we
Nancy,
got
hey, how's it going?
Here's an intersection through that safely. So
another Dan the man.
The 105 freeway getting awfully close here, about or less.
Thank you.
And
is that what she was doing? All right. Thanks, Dan.
This is going to be a left turn westbound.
Left turn, Clyde.
And there's the line of LAPD behind it.
All right, we are reaching the top of the hour.
You walked away from the mic. Come back.
Turn this over to Rick Chambers with the KTLA 5 News at 4, along with Samantha Cortese.
Rick Chambers.
Thank you for that. As you're watching here, we've got a pursuit going on, slow speed pursuit at this point. Has been through,
but it's been very dangerous
area for quite some time. Was in Hawthorne.
I mean, let's not downplay it, bud. Like right now, he's
that car that's driving the wrong way on that street is a shooting suspect. As far as we can tell, there are about 8 LAPD units behind it. It's been driving the normal.
It's been
on these city streets. So far, we haven't seen the car get out. But doing
so we heard it.
City street traffic.
He's a shooter.
But he's been driving on the wrong side of the road. He's been driving into parking lots. He's gone into alleys. He's doing what he can to try to avoid the LAPD at this point. We believe that he may be familiar with this area because he keeps circling on a number of the same streets now and then. But you can tell with the speedometer there up on the right, he is driving about the normal speed there, but he's putting a lot of people in jeopardy.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Just about now is when we're seeing traffic picking
much
up in a lot
Funk.
of these neighborhoods.
That's right, Rick and Sam. You're seeing this westbound.
I don't think so either. I think we're going to get this
one. Here, and he's doing what we're seeing here, using the double yellows to pass.
R.I.P.
Even going against traffic at times, going on the wrong side of the road. But speeds are picking up a little bit here. Not sure why.
Term. I saw your husband earlier.
Like you said, a shooting suspect wanted by LAPD. I believe it's the Southeast Division of LAPD that went into pursuit about 45 minutes ago. It's been on surface streets the whole time. It moves south of the 105.
There's like every cop.
The 105, ever since.
I haven't seen that many chasing in a while.
Here he comes out to the major, and he's got cross traffic. Look at that. LAPD blocked there for a bit.
Pay attention, people.
Western. He's going to turn southbound on Western. So those are the dangers involved in
Pay
running red
attention
lights during a pursuit. Fortunately, those cars weren't coming too fast. This driver's been lucky so far to run multiple lights like that, making right turns and left turns and not getting hit or hitting anybody else at this point. But definitely a dangerous pursuit. The driver willing to do anything and everything to get away.
Over there on the Facebook now, are you?
Curbs and making turns into parking lots where there's a lot of shoppers.
Gil, if you can just reiterate, I know we talked.
Yeah, but this one's been pretty dangerous. I mean, he's done everything he can
trying to pit this car
to try and lose them.
Because this is a shooting suspect. They're concerned about the driver or the person there that's wanted being armed, and they don't want to do a pit maneuver where they spin the car out and end up side to side with the suspect vehicle. That puts the officers in great danger. So they're not doing the pit maneuver or the spike strip so far in this pursuit. They don't want to put the officers' lives in danger by doing those things. So for now, they have about 8 units that are in.
Because a lot faster that way, right?
Staying with it, and an airship overhead from LAPD. Here comes another intersection, and he's going to go through that one.
Hey, good to see you, Seth. Hope you're doing all right.
Again, staying on in this area, Gardena, Hawthorne, south of the 105 freeway so far. And once again, this has been the second or third time this driver's been on Western.
And Gil, we picked up this pursuit about a half hour ago, and it seems like this person has been looping around the same general area of Gardena throughout the chase.
What's going on over there from
we're fortunate
Pasadena?
that he's not at high speeds. I mean, there's a lot of vehicles out here right now. He's not really ramping it up with speed, but he's definitely willing to go against traffic. Here we go, heavy traffic on the shoulder there, and he's going to go right turn. So it's kind of the pattern with this driver.
He might not be going fast, but man, that's them, not us.
And our coverage there with Gil Levis watching this pursuit going on for a little more than
my grandma used to watch this
on the KTLA 5 News
all the time. Oh no!
just the suspect in the car unless there's someone in the rear.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What I could see, I couldn't see any evidence.
We've had a lot of great people that aren't here anymore. Really appreciate it.
Again.
Oh, wow.
Like this is.
I'm sure Grandma's enjoying it. She's
a little bit of
checking us out.
LAPD, and I wonder if
glad to have you back.
The tactic, taking these little chances here, cutting the corners where they can to try to get some distance. We saw some close calls there where they went through an intersection, but LAPD had to slow down to avoid getting in a crash with an innocent driver. So, but look, LAPD, they are still right there back on it.
Is the window down?
Looks like the window is down.
Oh, well, throwing stuff out.
This is the first time we've seen this.
Whoa.
Yeah, it might have been a half a peace sign there that he was
throwing up the king sign.
The middle half of the peace sign.
And we know that they
yes, he was giving them the bird.
Something out the window, according to what we were hearing on the radios earlier. I didn't hear if they were able to recover that. That was, I believe, around 135th. And
by the way, if you see this guy and you want to text them and tell them you see this guy driving,
where the suspect was believed to have thrown that out.
World Weird. I've heard of that. Very good channel.
Here we go. This is probably the clearest look we can see, and that passenger seat looks empty. So we're gonna go with that. That it is just a suspect.
Yeah, it looks like that's him. That's it.
Hiding
one and done.
Or God forbid in the trunk or something like that. But 135th here again, and LAPD, they have been very intent on not letting the suspect get any distance here. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We've already seen a couple of school buses
paying off so far as getting away from the police on the ground.
And this did start at Imperial and Vermont.
I mean, he's smart. He is a litter bug.
Suspect,
give him the chair.
He has really stayed in pretty much the same vicinity and hasn't been using excessive speed, but definitely driving reckless through residential streets. We've seen twice now up on the sidewalk.
Yes,
so,
we all saw Wahoo was here too.
A dangerous pursuit, as they always are. But he hasn't
You're on
really
MySpace
been
now.
In position for a pit maneuver, but
nobody's there watching.
It's not something that they would be as likely to do because they do know that this is someone who is armed.
Right, is armed, and they again.
We're growing. We're growers, not showers.
Nobody in the front seat is what the airship is saying. So from what they can tell, is in what Desmond just said. Nobody in the front passenger seat as we go through.
Whoa! What are we doing? You place the order.
Nobody in the front passenger seat, but the airship can't see through the back.
What a pro
so
move!
Can't see into the back seat to tell if there's anybody through there. And again, as Desmond mentioned, maybe this is what his angle is here. If he can, cut a corner and get just enough distance from the people here or from the law enforcement here to get away from what they're doing. I do want to, Amy, because you asked about a pit maneuver, and I want to bring up a question. We'll talk about it at the same time. Alondra asked us something similar. We can show that to you on the screen here in just a second as we come through this intersection. But she texted the desk and says, why haven't you guys used spike strips to stop the pursuit? So obviously a question for law enforcement. But and it's probably the same answer as what we were talking about, Amy, earlier with the pit maneuvers. Because this person is thought to be armed, because the want here is that of a shooting suspect. In order to conduct a pit maneuver or lay out spike strips, if you lay out spike strips, you have to get in front of the car. And that certainly puts officers at risk. Essentially, especially you see
and
that
the man,
through a red light with a pedestrian walking
again,
across.
my favorite comment so far. Keep them up.
So the person is not afraid to maneuver away from obstacles in their way, and that would put officers in front of that person, which could put them at risk. That's something they probably don't want to do. Similar answer to a pit maneuver. If you conduct a pit maneuver the right way,
Desmond is the reporter that's inside the chopper.
But then you put the front of the car lined up with the front of the police car, and you put
Penny over there,
facing law enforcement officers, which again puts them at risk. If this person does have a gun, he is a shooting the suspect allegedly.
Ugly pirate.
That same risk of then potentially in the way of somebody.
Love a good ugly pirate here.
For an officer safety standpoint, that's not something they like to do. So wrong side of the road here again to get around traffic.
Jeez, come on, man.
Prairie. Even some
whoa.
Traffic.
Stay out of especially when he goes through these crosswalks.
So far, and you have pedestrians there in the intersection as well, and then wrong side. He just really seems to love these parking lots.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna F up and get one of these parking lots.
Try to weave through here. Someone there.
Watch out, person in the room.
And no one's expecting this. I mean, you've got the lights and sirens. I'm sure out there is probably the only fair warning that anyone has. But
what a great Van Halen album Fair Warning was.
A little bit. I saw that the suspect briefly get up to about 50 miles an hour earlier on Rosecrans as well. So wonder if the suspect's getting even more desperate. It does kind of seem like
big dog. What's going on?
As traffic just continues to pile up at these busy intersections here as rush hour is, really in full swing.
So everybody's going to get
going back to
special
the, spike strips. Most of the time, it's all about predictability, right?
Right.
Officers want to kind of get a head start on.
Everybody has donated money, by the way. You're going to get special treatment because the monetary monorail got deleted somehow while I'm talking to you guys and doing 50 other things. So everybody will be featured at the end. So if you would like to be featured at the end, go ahead and hit it. Going into oncoming traffic again. Back to this voiceover lady.
Traffic on the road, that's also something that the officers have to contend with. They'll have to wait until the very last second to toss the spike out so that they don't accidentally spike, a citizen
right.
Or something like that. But yeah, I mean,
runs for the border,
especially because we've been in this kind of same area here that generally would be an option. But unfortunately, because of the
sweet tea's here, sweet tea,
that's going to make it harder. And I'll tell you, even if this wasn't a shooting suspect, I think a pit maneuver would still be difficult. Everywhere he has been, there has been a lot of traffic. There's been cars and there's been pedestrians. So even if a pit was an option, I think we would have a hard time finding a spot.
Is Hooters even open anymore?
Do that without undue risk.
Jessica, this is happening right now as we're all breathing.
Into a
right now.
On 139th and
happening.
Lamali Avenue.
Share it out. Let people know.
If we're ready, I want to show you guys my computer. Thanks, Vin. So I want to show this to you because this is the flight track of the helicopters that have been following this. What I've got SkyCal selected here, and you can see we've just essentially only been
big circles
in this one area the entire time. The orange line is the path that SkyCal has been flying. I'll click on one of the police helicopters and you get a little bit more kind of direct path. But we've really not ventured very far anywhere outside of between the south of the 105 and east of the 110, west of the 405. We've been kind of exclusively in that same area. I mean, again, it started up here just near the 110 and the 105 to the northwest corner of that. And then we've come down here, and this is where we've been almost the entire time. So
I love you guys.
So you can kind of get a visual idea of the area that we've just been kind of circling back and forth.
And Mike, does LAPD still have 2 choppers above this?
Yeah, they do. And they actually swapped out. So there were, they swapped out, they had 2 choppers that were over it, and they changed and have 2 separate choppers that are over it now. I also see a CHP helicopter coming out of Fullerton. So I don't know.
Yeah, these guys
I don't imagine CHP
professionals
because we're not on a freeway at all. But maybe CHP is just going to come lend.
Oh my God! Take that giant map down so we can see the chase.
Maybe one LAPD helicopter could go back to
Dan the man,
and CHP could be their second set of eyes.
Being my second set of eyes.
The region.
Thank you, Dan.
There are no other LAPD
keeping the lights on
in any other part of the city. The only 2 that they've got up right now are here with us. This 225 LA.
Two time. Thank you, Dan.
And we see this car going back through some of the same, very similar looking streets, if they're not the exact same. We've seen nice manicured yards and
very green grass.
Very green grass going through. You see somebody.
They're so observant.
There
Grass is so green.
Really going in the.
This is a nice neighborhood. Look how green the grass is.
With the helicopters as well, but so often when they do this, it's because they're familiar with the area. They're trying to figure out a way to jump out of the car or perhaps get someone to meet them. But right now, the LAPD is staying so close to this car. I don't think that it's possible at this point for him to make a run for it and get away or try to jump into another car.
It's crazy how close they are sometimes.
We see that, when they try to get some distance from the law enforcement to then stop under a bridge or something like that where they've coordinated that. We've not seen, this guy is certainly, running red lights, driving on the side of the road. It's dangerous driving.
My family was into...
But it's not anything that's, crazy high
all my
speed,
children
crazy
and Days of Our Lives. Oh, Skinner.
As soon as I say this, but yeah, it is. That's why this is still very, very dangerous.
Oh, he scissored his way right through there.
Scary.
Yeah. And that's the thing, people, especially at night, you can see the flashing lights. In the daytime, a lot of times people
have flashing lights. See that crowd?
The sirens. They don't see the lights coming because it is, so bright out. And so they're really caught off guard when this car
so fresh and so clean.
No idea that
mankind is here.
Away, but here it is, right there.
Gina, how are you, Gina?
They're right there on them.
Gina, I was looking at houses for sale in Texas.
Well, this is the
beautiful,
first we've heard
beautiful.
from the tactical flight officer who is up there right now, who, by the way, just in my opinion, I recognize this guy's voice. He's like the most elite of the LAPD's.
We're making a move, caveman.
He's recognizing the pattern as well, and he's calling for spike strips. He's trying to get some units down there to coordinate at different areas to get down there and see if they
beautiful
can
neighborhood. Caveman blessing us with 2 more bones.
Back there, we were by what looked like a warehouse or something, and there was a group of like a dozen guys that were out there taking pictures and
sand through an
because,
hourglass.
again, we've got a bunch of helicopters up here. We have a lot of lights
Like
and sirens
sands through an hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
That it goes on, the more dangerous it gets with people that want to come out and get a little bit too close to some of these pursuits. In addition to all of
no, not the way he's driving. He just doesn't care.
More and more by the minute here. So we'll see if they're able to do that. If they're able to deploy a spike strip, and hopefully that could,
Texas,
at the very least, slow this suspect down.
Right on. Some real nice houses, very reasonably priced.
An hour here on some of these smaller streets. So the suspect getting desperate.
Move to Kansas. Big dog.
If they did deploy
do you not like me? Why would I move to Kansas?
React to that. Sometimes that makes them, kind of freak out even more and begin to take even more chances.
I believe it was.
It's always kind of tough to say, but we'll see if they're able to deploy that and kind of recognize the patterns that the suspect
I had to think about
is taking here.
Some green grass of home.
Same area that we've been pretty much for the entirety of the pursuit.
And Mike Rogers on the desk, are you hearing that too? Now that there's a bit of a predictability on where he's staying, that Spike.
Yeah, you done said that shit.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, those officers will have to get ahead of him, as Desmond mentioned, to try to get that situated. But yeah, I mean,
hello,
these same neighborhoods over and over and over again. So LAPD is going to look for an area that will put them at least risk to try to do that, behind a car, behind a wall, something like that, where they'll have some cover to be able to toss those spike strips out here. Ideally, if they could get it, it would be good on a neighborhood road like this, where there's less.
It's so hard,
and at this point,
for them to get a spike strip, especially when going this slow.
That's unit. I wonder if that unit was trying to get him in place. I don't think they were able to.
So he didn't have time.
No, they weren't.
You can go slow and go around them,
But that looks like that's exactly what that was. And
write that man another ticket
of the spike strip. So they're going to be getting out there and coordinating some of those units.
Yep,
that have been
got
on the
tent.
periphery of the
write him a ticket for that.
Trying to stay, out of sight of the suspect, but in a place where they could, take advantage of that, try to kind of blindside the suspect with some spike strips. So they will see if they're able to deploy that.
I heard Omaha Steaks was closing down, going out of business.
Another super busy intersection.
They stopped delivering to restaurants and stuff.
Stop traffic here on eastbound El Segundo.
Joe,
right now going pretty fast there on those middle turn lanes.
Oh,
and he got really
thank
lucky
you.
Just a second ago before he made that right
Many
turn.
thanks.
There was no traffic in that lane, and he was able to just breeze right through there in heavy traffic at a stoplight, make this right-hand turn, and continue right now at West El Segundo and South Denker Avenue. Again, still staying in the Inglewood area. This is a possible.
I might visit
suspect.
Texas.
The LAPD has had their eyes on for quite a bit. In fact, we came on the air a little bit early here to bring this breaking news to you, happening right now in Inglewood.
If they're smart, they're up ahead of them.
And for those
Maryland, I like when everybody tells me when they're checking in from.
This has been going on for just a little more than an hour. Again,
in
pursuit of a shooting suspect that started at about 3:11, and this was at Imperial and Vermont. Officers
Tom Jones.
found
No,
the suspect.
what is the guy's
They're not
name?
Exactly sure how they decided that
I was
this
trying
was
to think
in fact
of.
that suspect. But we've been watching this pursuit for a little more than an hour. We've seen a lot of reckless and very aggressive driving, but not a lot of high.
It's not
speed.
fast, just dangerous
But
as
certainly
shit.
These officers have not been in a position to do a spike strip or do a pit maneuver. We have watched
Hello,
this,
Pens and Paws.
driver on the wrong side of the road, on the sidewalk at times, and really just staying in the same vicinity. Looks like we're getting right back to
So
these houses.
looks like they're probably going out of
nice
business.
green grass that we were talking about, Juan.
Green
back in that
grass
same
of
area.
home.
So it's an area most likely he's familiar with, and maybe this is going to help officers set up spike strips, because as Mike was telling us and Des was telling us, the helicopter pilots with LAPD have noticed that similar pattern where he's staying in this area here. But what's the end game here? Why is he doing this? On the right side of your screen, you're seeing some of that reckless driving that Amy was talking about just a few moments ago. But what is the end game here? Why not pull over? Because eventually he will get caught. But again, just doing such crazy maneuvers, cutting corners here, cutting through parking lots. He went through, through the wrong
Marty.
way. Everything
Maxing and relaxing.
Create some sort of distance from the LAPD, but you can see there that one unit behind him, Mike, has not.
He had a wife and kids in Baltimore.
Left the rear bumper of that car always right behind.
Yeah, and Des, if you can get just a little closer on that, I want to make sure it's the same one. As Shop 890, I believe, is the back of that.
890.
Or was that 990?
Lambo
yeah,
red.
So that's been the same shop, that the same LAPD patrol car.
No relation to Maserati Gold, baby. 5 from the OG.
I know our screen says Inglewood, but I want to be clear, we're not in Inglewood. We're south
Illinois.
Well, we're getting
I've always wanted to go to a Cubs
here,
game.
We're still not in Inglewood. We're more Athens, just east of Hawthorne Airport here.
Porter Wagner, no.
Has been the one chasing him for the entirety of this.
What was his name?
It's
going to drive me crazy.
Watching that, and this guy's
I got to look and see.
Continuing right in this same neighborhood. Now, okay, I want to address.
I know a lot of people have
why aren't
sung
they using certain tactics? Why aren't they using this? They'll text the desk. I want to show you this one. And there's a Twitch streamer that is watching us and streaming our feed
Twitch
right now. His name is XQC on Twitch. And one of the questions that he is telling viewers to text me and ask, which I've gotten a lot of this, why don't the police shoot the tires? Again, that's
it's only in movies, Mike.
All right, guys.
That's a very common
when the phone number comes back up there, all y'all text
just not something
and say Mikey from Credence and Mikey.
You,
got a question.
Very, very rare circumstances, and only in the Inland Empire, and only once since I've been here, we did one time see the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department shoot out of a helicopter at the suspect.
I have never seen that.
That was pretty wild. I've not seen them do that again. I've seen them give clearance to do it again, but they haven't done it since. But that's just not something you're going to see. It's way too dangerous. The car is moving. The officer
Charlie Pride.
You very easily could miss.
I love Charlie Pride.
Could hit somebody on the side. It's just very impractical to be able to do that. Especially why this is moving. Another question somebody asked is, why don't they block the streets? Why don't you put a bunch of cop cars in front of the guy?
Yeah,
Again,
don't work like
that.
that.
It's an officer safety risk. It's a public safety risk. If that guy decides he wants to blow through the cop cars and slam into them, that's something else they're not going to do. So the LAPD, all law enforcement agencies have certain tactics they are allowed to explore and do during these chases. Most commonly,
make sure you got gifts turned on, kids.
And as you heard from Des, they'd like to try to set up spikes. We saw potentially one that was going to, and I think I may hear it again, going to be employed here or deployed.
Thanks for all the guesses, guys. I appreciate it.
Been able to get there in time. It didn't look like to make.
I don't see anybody guess Charlie Pride.
I'm surprised how open this roadway is right here at 420 on a Wednesday afternoon. Surprisingly,
you guys got to text that number when it comes back up there on the screen.
We had been seeing more traffic, but getting off of that roadway again. Going through a parking lot, alleyway, this is something we've been seeing multiple times.
Yeah,
pursuit
back
today.
here in the back now. They should make a move, man.
One of the things too with this area,
Tiff, what's going on?
It doesn't really seem like there's really any dead ends on this side of the or this deep.
Grappler would be cool.
On the LA
Did you?
Everything is just like a very
Jules,
effective grid.
great minds.
Is
I love Charlie Pride.
Railroad tracks down here. They can get in the way of things kind of like there are up in the San Fernando Valley. He's far away from freeways where there's not going to be any dead ends. So it just seems like,
kiss an angel,
left, right,
good
no matter where the
morning.
suspect goes,
I love her like a devil when you get
they're
back
able to get through
home.
a thoroughfare, and there hasn't been a wrong turn for the suspect to take.
Nice try.
To,
what's this? He's wanted for shooting, Patricia. This is a shooting suspect.
Wrong side again here, 135th, where they
shooting.
Right back here to where that article was thrown out, which could have very well been the weapon, but we never heard
Thank you, Okie.
LAPD, but really loves this area, and maybe on one of these smaller surface streets, it would be more difficult for a suspect to avoid a spike strip. So perhaps an opportunity here coming up.
Could have, man. Could have been
kind of difficult to coordinate, and no successful spike strips yet here southbound on Daphne.
And everybody starts using grapplers.
They're going to have a little bit more.
That's the end of the chase game, baby.
Here is they're not in their area. They're not in the city of Los Angeles. So if they were in the city of LA, even if they were in a different division, you would have units that were already in that division or even a neighboring division.
These houses are so close to each other
and drop spikes ahead of them. But they're not in the city. They're not in the city of LA. So what you're dealing with is you're dealing with officers that are already a part of this pursuit that need to break off, try to get around him, come in front of him, figure out where he's going to go, and then try to drop the spikes. The LAPD airship is certainly trying to coordinate that, but it's not as easy when you're not in your city.
He's making a lot of crazy moves.
More cops that can respond to this. Passenger side window down.
Might as well.
See him motion his hands around there, Des. Nobody in the passenger seat, just like we said.
He's jamming.
Yep. Yeah. Some hand motioning going on, and earlier we saw him motioning out the window to officers as well.
No, I don't want to upset him none.
But the windows have been down, but just aimlessly
Dude,
continuing.
he'd be
through this
upside down
area.
somewhere right
It
now.
just kind of seems like, well, let's see if this alleyway is going to go through here.
Come on,
of,
dead end.
Apartments. It looks like
Is that dead end? That's a
could
fence.
Potentially be a dead end. Let's see here as we try to close.
Is he gonna go through that fence?
River, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. So
Oh,
here's
he done
one of the
fucked
few
up
places
now.
where they could go into a dead end. So
Your discretion is
Driver's
advised.
doors open.
the suspect lives. So yeah, we've got a wash right there, and
Driver's
all of a
doors
sudden
open.
now we are. Yeah. So yeah, there was another vehicle there in the.
Yeah, that's not his car right there.
Alleyway
There
as well,
his
but
car.
yeah. So finally, after all that, making a wrong
He's
turn.
stuck. He's
And kind of what I
stuck.
suspected. I think they were just kind of dragging this out as long as
He
they
done
possibly
fucked
could,
up now.
realizing the inevitability of everything, and just I don't know, trying to enjoy one more Southern California day here before going away for an unknown amount of time. But
He ain't going
after all
nowhere.
that, all those close
He'll
calls, all
be
those
home in
attempts
time for dinner.
making a turn here
You kidding me?
at a dead end alley, hands out, and looks like they will be surrendering to officers.
Yeah, it looks like it's hands out, and he's listening to officers right now, getting out of the car.
I never count
something
nobody out
dropped
until
of
they're
his
in
lap. There
cuffs.
might have been his cell phone, right, Mike?
Yeah,
his
that's
cell phone there.
yeah.
I don't know
cell
nothing
phone
about
damage
this.
Des was seeing too.
Yeah.
But this is certainly one of those times when they're worried about this person having a weapon.
That's right.
And certainly want to keep a very close eye on his hands right now.
His hands, and remember, they don't have eyes in the back seat. We've got no reason to believe that there's anybody back there. But the LAPD helicopter was clear that they could only see the passengers.
Let's just be glad he didn't
So they're
smash
also
through
going to want
that
to make sure
gate.
that there is nobody in the back of the car as well. I mean, the best scenario is that he's out of the car though. So LAPD has control of the situation. They're obviously giving him commands, step away from the car. Last thing they want him to do is be able to jump back in it. They'll ask him to walk back, get on his knees.
I don't
you'll see
know.
what's called an
You
arrest
guys
team.
supposed to
You'll
come
see a
up with
group of
something.
Officers come in. They'll take him into custody. You'll have a separate.
Our
group of
crowd's smart. We
officers
already know all
that
those
will remain with their
questions.
guns trained on the car until they can clear that car.
And that prone position right there, obviously, it's probably the safest for officers.
Yeah.
His
Yep.
legs are spread now. They're going to be moving
my.
in and bringing him into custody. And Mike, you think one person, you may need one or two officers, but a whole team is going to go in there. To
You
make
ran
sure
out of
he gets
songs.
into custody safely, right?
Yeah, you'll see 3 or 4 officers move up on him, and you've got the officers on the right. Shop 990 right there. The officers to the left will be the ones that'll go in and put him in handcuffs. And then on the right, you see them, they're moving up right now. They're going to clear the car. You've got a couple with lethal, and you've
Now
got
slide
green
to the
strap
right.
there. That's the less lethal 40 millimeter
Cha-cha.
foam launcher. So they'll have that as well, just in case. And you'll have additional units that will.
You say a foam
come and
launcher?
Make sure they'll pop the trunk. You got one cop. If you look to the right, he's also keeping cover to the right side in case anybody pops out of that apartment complex there. Because again, there's probably reason to believe that this guy is either lives in this area or knows somebody in this area, considering the amount of time that he spent in this area.
And they're probably asking him questions too, right, Mike?
Damn you,
while
AI.
he's face down.
Yeah,
Whether or not there's other weapons or anything that could harm the officers in the car, anybody else in the car.
right, and we'll see that. Hopefully, they'll be able to.
I
probably
don't
gotta
think
open the
so.
trunk from the driver's side, so somebody will have to come over and do that. Hopefully, they can see through the window with that close. Although those windows are pretty dark, so we'll see what they're able to do. But somebody will move up, or a couple officers will move up and take the guy into custody, and then they'll be able to clear the car and hopefully be done with this.
We got one officer, gun drawn, just in case.
Did y'all see the story about the Amazon driver who drove into like
it may look like it's over
a lake or
They
something?
have to be very cautious.
Because,
still at this
or
point.
And you got a
maybe it
couple
was the
detectives
ocean.
there.
I
So
don't
on
know.
the side of your screen between shop 387
Because
and 990.
GPS told them to
you got
go
the
there.
guy
It was
in
like that
khaki, and then you've got the
episode
guy in the jacket,
of The
and here comes
Office.
another one. So I would guess that this
Guy
is
drove
somebody
right
that's
into the
well known to
ocean.
them,
He
and
said
that's
the
why
reason
you've
he
got
did it, or
detectives that are
lake, whatever it
already on
was.
scene. It's pretty quick for detectives to be
He
here.
did it because the
if they
GPS
weren't
told him
already
to.
investigating this person for somebody. So it's possible that the shooting is something that detectives have already been looking into, and they were notified that
Ford
Southeast
F
Patrol was in
Infusion.
pursuit of their guy, and that's why they showed up to the scene here.
Mike, we kind of missed the shot, but what do we know what brought this to an end? He just gave up?
He just pulled in. Yeah, I mean, he just came in and came to a stop. I think
Drove the
as
whole
you pan
truck.
Up, there's nothing there. You got a fence there, so I think his options were blow through that
it was
fence.
a dead end, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he
blow through
could
that
have
fence
done
or
it.
Try to get out and run, but I think
I would have let him do it.
Pretty evident that there are a ton of people here ready to take him into custody. So he probably just realized it's not worth it and called it a day.
Yeah, seven patrol cars for.
Been
that
pretty
one
bast though if he
Absolutely, but
had.
This is really the best way that it could end with him stopping. There were no crashes involved in this pursuit that went, almost an hour and a half, and no real incidents there. And of course, they will go back and try to figure out what was thrown from that car earlier in the pursuit. And certainly this is a great way for it to end.
Despite the reckless driving, nobody was hurt. Suspect is
They were
now
going
in
to take the
custody. We're gonna
baskets
send
to
our
win back
Big Call
customers.
viewers back
Remember
to
that?
regular programming. Meantime, CBS LA News.
Okay, we'll pause that right here because they're going back to regular programming. Let's see. Did I see? Yes, I did. Midwest Safety typically doesn't like for you to use their videos. I have before, but I've also got a stern, please don't use these. So, yeah, it's just one of those channels that sometimes it's not worth risking for what you get. So, I heard about Amazon driver. Yeah, a hit and run pedestrian. No, I did not hear about that. Saw a picture of a truck in the way. Yeah, it was like way out there. We had a giant 18-wheeler go into the river that was full of chickens over the weekend. I think it was that it happened. Blew them off the bridge. So, yeah. Well, he gave it up. 6-7. The ugly pirate, everybody. Ugly pirate. I love good ugly pirate. Yeah, so that's pretty much wrap it up for us. But if we know anything about this whole crazy world of ours, these come in pairs and triples and everything else. So I'll be keeping an eye out all night long until I go to bed, which is usually about 2 a.m. I'll be keeping an eye out. If I don't fall asleep, though, no promises. No, but he did drown all the chickens and himself, so there's that. Didn't go well. Didn't go well. To the Transformer fans, like Lane and me, GPS. Oh, gold plastics and wow, look at you. Look at the big brain on Greg. All right, let me thank everybody, and then I'm gonna go finish eating my dinner. I said. All right, there we go. Much better. Bob, number one, of course. Cooper, Dan the Man, Peta, Mole, the boss. Bruno, thank you. Jackie. I got you, Jackie. Dan the Man. Dan the Man, doubling down. Dan the Man, 1 time, 2 time. Look at Dan the Man go. Caveman. So we got a lot of men folk here. And speaking of lover of men folk, Lambo Red Daddy, OG Wrench. Don't just leave. Hit the like, leave a comment, hype the video, do whatever the hell you got to wherever you're watching. Come and join us. Credence and Mikey on YouTube. We got Chase on YouTube. All those places. We need your faces. Ooh, baby. Take care. Don't be square. Tiff, good to see you stopping in. Ugly Pirate, thank you for stopping in. Jules, Roman, Floop. All y'all. Love you. Stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned. I'm Mikey the Legend. You're not. Bye for now.
Just do what I tell you.
Scissor me, Daddy!
Who's this?
Well, let's get funky like a monkey.
Hit him with the hide!
Bullshit.